Finsweet, agency, product, community. That's effing sweet.
Nice. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another technical live stream. I'm Alex Iglesias. I'm happy to be here. And today we're going to be talking about some of the cool updates that Wiz got a couple weeks ago, less than a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago. So I'm going to wait just 5 minutes, maybe. So we let people just come and join us. And then we're going to start. But in the meantime, let's just say hi to people because I already see a bunch of you guys here. Thank you for coming. Nice. Hey, Leon. How you doing? Happy to have you here. And I see that you have a question. Nice. I'll address that now. Hey, Dennis. Thank you for coming. Hey, Clement. Hey, Sylvan. Nice. All the usuals. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you being here as usual. Nice. Hey, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Anybody who's here in the audience, if you want to say hi, just drop that message and I'll give you a shout out. Okay, cool. How was the week for everyone? I want to wait still 3 minutes before we jump into the topic. Um, my week was cool. I last week I was in FlowConf. I still want to upload some pictures and some feedback from the conference, but it was a very cool conference organized by the Ninja Flow team, or Flow Ninja team, sorry, and in Serbia, and it was a cool conference. Honestly, I am very happy of having attended that. So last week I was in there, and this week we've been just doing some work on some updates that I'm gonna unveil soon. Maybe I can show them today. Not sure. It went well. Yeah, thank you. I did a talk about coding or no coding, like when should you use a no code tool and when you should be straight up just coding things, or when you should do something in the middle. And I'm happy. Yes. I think that the talk is very educative, and I got some nice feedback from people after doing that talk. So, yeah, all positive comments, all positive feedback. I'm happy. Nice. Leon, you asked if Alex already sees that, what would be the best practice here? What do you mean, Leon? Best practice in what exactly? On the topic that we're tackling today? And could we rewatch the talk? The talk is supposedly is recorded, but it's not going to be uploaded in the YouTube channel from FlowConf. It's a private talk because it was meant to only be for the people who attended the live conference. Still, I am probably going to get a video from it, which I'm going to share with the Finsweet team, and I don't know, maybe we can do something about it. We'll see. I only want to upload it if everyone is okay with it, like the people from the FlowConf team and the Finsweet team as well. Hey, Demetrius. Thank you for coming. How are you doing? Okay, cool. So, well, there's one question that I'm waiting for Leon's answer, which is what would be the best practice here. But I'm guessing that we can tackle this during today's live stream. So let me just present the live stream for everyone. So first of all, again, thank you all for coming. Today we're talking about the new elements and events system that was launched in Wized. So if you're a Wized user and you're actively using Wized, you probably know about these updates already. But if not, I hope that today you're going to get a grasp of the things that we've launched and how things have changed slightly. And Yash, thank you for coming. Nice. So, my idea is that I'm going to explain the updates while we build a fun little project. That's the idea. Okay. So instead of giving you just a lot of theory, which if you want to just get the theory straight up, just go to the Wist channel because in there we uploaded a video explaining those updates. But instead, I want to get practical today. I want to get my hands on this. So let's share the screen. Gabe, if you can help me there. The idea is that we're gonna build a notes app. Okay, it's very inspired and literally just copied from the macOS Notes app. So from Apple. And essentially, all I want to do is something simple enough, but still that uh, touches all the different points in a web application, which would be authentication, which would be custom integrations like an editor, which would be loading data and basically some CRUD operations with the data and some reactivity on the page. Okay. So the idea is that users will be able to create notes in here. They will be able to edit those notes, and they will be able to. Actually, I forgot to remove them, but we could do that. And as well, that everyone can have its own account, so you can sign in, you can sign up, and start creating your own notes. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a lot of space here, so let me just reduce this a bit, like that. Cool. Okay, so I did a bit of homework beforehand, and I already have here my Wized project that it's just set up with all the attributes, the Wized attributes, but I don't have any settings. I don't have any events, no requests, no applications, no element settings, nothing. We're going to set it up together today. Okay. And if you have any questions during the process, let me know, because we have about 50 minutes to do this, which if I go fast, I think that we can do it. If I go slow and explain a lot of things in the process, we probably are not going to make it. So I think that I'm going to go a bit, fast paced so I can try to cover as much as I can. But if you have any questions, drop them in the channel. Okay, drop them in the chat. I have the chat here next to me, and I'm watching at your comments, so I'll try to answer everything that you say. And Yash, we'd love to see some AI. That's a good point. Maybe in the next live stream we could involve some AI as well, because we always build things, but we never involve AI here. Yeah, I'll give it a thought. Thank you, Yash. Okay, cool. So let's think about the features that we want to do. Okay, let's remember. And let's open X-Ray here. First of all, we've got a sign in and sign up buttons. So we need to handle auth in here. Then we've got an editor. We've got some buttons here to save and discard what we are editing. We've got some items where we list the notes that we have created. Then here we just greet the user. We have a button to create new notes. We also have a call to action here to display when the user is not signed in, just to say, hey, you must sign in to use this application that I called Noted. Wized Noted. I know that I'm original. And then in here, we also have more pages. We have a sign in page, very simple, single attribute to sign in. And then a sign up page, same thing, sign up form, very simple. Okay. So what I'm going to do today, usually we use Xano. It's very popular to use the Xano stack, but I think that Firebase and Supabase also deserve some love. So today I'm going to build this using Firebase. Okay. We're going to use authentication in Firebase, and we're also going to use the database in Firebase to store the items. Okay. So let's do that. Let's just start up doing things. Can we use something different, please? What do you mean, Dimitris? What do you want to use different? Why not Supabase though? Well, I don't know, because I thought of Firebase, but we could use Supabase in the next live stream. I'm good with it. I don't want to spend a lot of time now, so I'm gonna just keep going with Firebase. Okay, Demetrius, next time it's gonna be Supabase. Okay. Yeah, we definitely should give it more love to Supabase. Okay, cool. So let's start by just setting up Firebase, okay? Remember that we've got here applications and then requests. We want to be able to perform some requests from Firebase. So let's start creating a Firebase app. And in here, I'll just call this Firebase, all good. And let's set up Firebase. And I need a project ID, app ID, and API key. So I'm gonna get to my Firebase project. Let's open settings and let's go to the project settings in here. And when you go to project settings, it will find all this info that you need down in here. I've got my API key, I've got my app ID, and I've got, what else I need? The project ID, which the project ID, it's this here, like that. Okay, so let's do this. So project ID, stream with nodes, and then the API key, it's this one, API key here, and the app ID, it's this one. Remember to not get the quotes. You don't want to get the quotes, you just want to get what's inside it, like that, okay? Cool. So now we've got Firebase. And the things that I want to do, first of all, is be able to sign in and sign up. Very simple, but it's already going to show us some of the cool things that now are possible with Wized that it was not possible before. So let's create a request super quick to sign in. Here, no request, and this is going to be sign in. And this request is going to use Firebase, and the method will be sign in with email and password. That's it, okay? The email, I want it to be, actually, we can either start typing here to see things, as you can see, sign in form, or I can open the data store here. Let's put the data store here on the right. And I can look at this, sign in like that. Or actually, no, the form, sign in form, and I want to use the email like that. So if I click on this now, it's going to populate it for me. So this is something that people were asking to be able to do. Now it's possible here, okay? Keep that in mind. So we're using the email in this case, and the password, same thing, password here, like that. And another update that is coming, actually either today or Monday, it's that many functions, when you open them, you want to start typing return. So we're going to pre-populate return by default, okay? That's a suggestion by Glenn, and I think that it's an awesome suggestion. Cool. Okay, so we've got the request for signing in ready. Let's create another one for signing up. So sign up like that, Firebase, sign up with email and password. But in this case, I want to go to the sign up page so we can check this because we've got the sign up form here. And same thing, let's do the email. So this is going to be f.signupform.email and password return f.signupform.password, like that. All set up. Good. Super simple. Okay. So now what I want to do is a couple things. First of all, let's start with the sign up so we can start using this. In the sign up page, I've got my sign up form element like this. And this sign up form element, I want that when we submit this form, we perform the request of signing up for the user. And after signing up, we want to redirect the user to the homepage. Okay, so we need to have this sequence of 2 steps: sign up request, send the user to the homepage. Okay, and we can do that now with this. So let's open the sign up form element in here. So I'm using here sign up form, and I'm going to go to the events of the element, and I'm going to create an event. And this event is going to be the submit event, like that. I want to prevent default because we don't want to be submitting this data to Webflow. I just want to keep that data here. And I want to then do some actions. So first action is going to be perform a request, and the request is going to be sign up, like that. Super simple. And after that, we can trigger, we can chain more actions. So in this case, I want to follow up and say, okay, after signing up, I want to navigate the user to, in this case, the homepage, which is just this path, like that. That's it. Super simple. Now, one of the things that I want to do is that, because maybe could happen that the sign up failed, right? And in that case, if it fails, we don't want to send the user to the homepage. We want to stay in this page. So in that case, I want to make this navigate to action as conditional. And the condition will be to return r.signup.okay, like that. So if the sign up request was not okay, it means that this is not going to happen. It only will happen if this is okay, like that. Okay, nice. So let's try it out. I'm gonna use my email here. I think that it's not necessary to reload here, just the custom. But I'm gonna use my email at executions@finsweet.com. Please don't spam me. And let's do, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys can take up my account. Let's open the data store for a second because I want to inspect this. Sign up, and let's see what happens here. So I'm going to sign up, and look at that. Okay, I'm getting an error here. Configuration not found. Configuration not found. Let me think. What's up in here? Firebase error, auth, configuration not found. Maybe I need to set up authentication. It could be. Get started. Yes. Yes, I needed to set up authentication. You're right. So yeah, Firebase, let's enable authentication, email and password, save, done, email and password enabled. Great. And now I should be able to do this. So let's try it again. Great. Okay. So this was successful. As you can see, we got redirected to the homepage. Nice. That's cool. So thanks to this, it's very simple to chain actions, as you can see, because we only redirect the user after sign up if the sign up was successful. We don't need to be creating events, and when the request finishes, then do this and do that, like scattering around the logic. We can just keep the whole flow inside this submit event. Submit, perform request, navigate to the homepage if the request was successful. Super simple. Question from Dimitris. If I have the sign in, sign out elements in different pages, do these elements events count towards the elements limit? No. So all we do when counting for elements is if you have an element here and you add some settings to it. So for example, this sign in button, if I set up some settings for this sign in button, the instant so what we use is the name, and it doesn't matter how many of these same exact component you use across a project, we just count it as one. So if in this case, I have 3 pages, and each of the pages has the sign in and sign up buttons, but it's not going to count triple. It's just going to be one, which is the definition of the element, not the amount of instances that we have in the project, if that makes sense. Okay, great. I would like to see how you render data using a run function, especially when you want the render element from a list. Well, usually when you do a run function, you want to change the state, but you want to render the things using the Wized built-in directives. You'll see in a second, Roll. Okay. Let's do another thing now, and it's that I want to do another request here that it's going to be Firebase, and it's going to be get the user, like that, get the user. Okay. So every time that we load a page, I want to get the user because I want to know if the user is signed in or not. So here, let's create a global event. Okay. And this global event, it's going to say, hey, when the page starts loading, let's do get the user. When the page starts loading, run a function, and this not run a function, sorry, perform a request, and this request is going to be the get user, like that. So now if we inspect the data store, in here you will see how when the page loads, it gets the data, and in this case, because we signed up, Firebase already knows that we've signed up, and I've got here my info, like that. Okay. Now let's quickly be able to set up being able to sign out as well, so we can test again, signing in, signing out, all this stuff. And I'm going to do it with these buttons in here. So let's go and select the sign out button, and let's set up an event as well, that when we click on this element, we want to run the function of signing out. So not run the function, my God. Perform a request of signing out. So first of all, I need to create that request in here. So let's create the request, sign out, Firebase, and this is going to be sign out, like that. Super simple. So now we can go back to this button here, events, on click, perform the request of signing out, like that. Super simple. So now I should be able to see in my data store, let's open this here on the side, that when I click on sign out, boom, we've got that. And then if we reload the page, now we no longer have any user data. Huh. I just noticed that we've got a little bug here. Look at that. I'm going to check that later. Okay, but get user, we don't have any data here from the user. Okay, that's important. So after signing out, not only I want to sign out, I want to perform the request, but as well, I want to navigate the user. I want to just reload the page. So let's do this. I want to navigate the user again to the home page, like that. Great. So now anytime that we click on the sign out, not only it's going to sign out the user, but it's going to reload the page, basically, like this. Great. So let's, again, now just set up the sign in, and we are done with auth. Look at that. So easy. So sign in form, I want that when we submit this form, so when submitting this form, boom, we want to perform a request, and this request, it's going to be the sign in. And after that, we want to navigate the user to the home page as well, only if the request was successful. Very similar to the sign up. So return r.signin.ok, like that. Okay. So now let's try this. Alex Iglesias at finsweet.com. And first of all, I'm going to just make up something, a wrong password. And oops, we need to prevent default, like that. Now you can see how nothing is happening when I hit enter. And that's because two things. First of all, because the request it's not being successful. Let's check this. Sign in, data. Look at this. We've got an error, missing email. Let's try it again. Sign in, and you can see how we're getting this error. So nothing is happening because there's an error, and also because we still haven't set up showing errors. So in this case, if I wanted to display errors, I would do that probably down here. Okay, but just for the sake of going fast, today I'm not going to display errors here on the sign-in page. But if we do it correctly, which my password was 1234567 now this should. Oh, hold on, missing email. That's not right. Let's go to the sign-in page. Sign-in form email and sign-in form password. Weird. Why are we getting missing email? Sign in form, which is this, email. Is it what? Hold on, because there's something weird here. The sign in form does not have any data in it. That's weird. We're definitely doing something wrong here. Sign in form. Oops. On submit, prevent default. Let me reload this just in case. Okay. So maybe it was an issue. I just needed to reload. Let's try this again. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I needed to reload. Sometimes we need to reload the embed. But definitely we should be improving that. Okay, cool. So now that I'm signed in, I can see how the requests in the data store here, if we check the get user, you can see how the data is in there. Okay, my get user data is in here. So one of the things that we could do now is these buttons in here, the sign in button and the sign up button, don't need to be displayed at the same time. the sign in button should only be displayed when there is no user. The sign up button should be displayed only when the user is logged in. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to the sign in button. And now here, I've got all my settings for my element. So in this case, I've got some visibility settings, some text settings, the listing rendering, etc. So in this case, I want to define the visibility for this element to be, first of all, I want the get user request to have finished. So it must have finished, and there must not be a user. So get user.data, like that. Meaning that first we wait until we load the user, but if there's no user, it means that, no, actually, hold on. Yes, correct. And if there's no user, we want to show the sign in button. And very similar, but the opposite with sign out, we want to set the visibility to get user has requested and there is get user, like that. So in this case, what's going to happen is that now you can see how the sign up button is displayed. There's a bit of flashing. We'll talk about how to fix it, but we're going to do it with Wized Cloak. And only the sign up button stays in here, like that. Get user has requested and get user. Correct. Yes, like that. So if I want to avoid this, remember that we've got the Wized Cloak attribute. Okay, so remember that if I want to have things that are not displayed by default when the page loads, we can use the Wized Cloak attribute, which it's going to prevent some flashing because we use some CSS to avoid that, like that. So now if I reload this, you will see how we only see the sign out button. And if I sign out, now I'm seeing both, which is incorrect. Hold on. And there is, get user data, like that. Like that. There was a mistake in there. So now I'm getting here to the prompt to sign in. So let's do it again. Alex Iglesias, Finsweet.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's sign in. And now we only get the sign up button. Nice. Okay, more things. More things. I'm going fast, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, the sign in call to action. Okay, this sign in call to action should only be displayed if the user is not logged in. So same visibility settings. Return r.getUser has requested and there is no get user data, like that. So now again, this is only being displayed because the I am signed out, I'm signed in, but if I sign out, now we see this as well, like that. So let's do it again. A lot of signing in and signing out. Finsweet.com. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. Okay, great. And again, I don't want to have any flashing, so I'm going to add the Wized Cloak attribute to this element. So Wized Cloak attribute, true, publish, and now we should get no flashes. Great, like that. Okay, good. Now, obviously, the notes section, this section in here as well, I don't want to display it if the user is not signed in. So let's just wrap up doing all these sign in, sign out protection. I've got my notes element, which is this one. And in here, we want to render this element only if the get user has requested and there is get user data, like that. Nice. So now we should only see this when the get user request finishes. And you will see how I've got here some loader in here. And the idea is that this loader should only display while we are loading the user. So while we're checking, okay, if the user is logged in or not, we want to display this loader, okay? And in this case, we've got a very convenient thing, which is the Wized loader attribute. And I'm gonna use that. I've got loader component, and let's do Wized loader. And the Wized loader attribute expects you to define a specific request. So in that case, the Wized loader attribute will be present on the element until the request finishes. So in this case, I'm saying WizLoader equals to get underscore user, because this get underscore user is the name of the request that we are triggering here, okay? Get user. So what's going to happen is that when the page loads, this element will have the Wized loader attribute on it until the get user request finishes. And in that case, when that happens, the Wized loader attribute will be removed from the element, which means that I can, no, I think that is in the global custom code. I can define some custom CSS like this that it's saying, hey, while the Wized loader attribute is set to the element, display flags the element. So by default, I could potentially set this to be display none, like this. Okay, and what's going to happen, check it out, is that, one second, when the page loads, we've got the loader visible, and after get user finishes, this loader, let me open it here, will be easier. Oh, no, hold on, I need to publish this. Let's publish. When the page loads, the loader will be visible, but after the get user request finishes, the loader is hidden because there is no longer any display flex property twist. Like that. But now I'm realizing that as well, we need to set up the Wiz cloak attribute to this nodes element, nodes component, because this whole thing should not be displayed by default. So let's do again with cloak equals to true, like that. And I think that we are done with the cloaking and showing, hiding things around. Let's try it. Nice. Like that. Cool. So now we can sign in. Alex Iglesias at finsweet.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sign in. And look at this. Now we can see these without any content flashes, nothing, because between the cloak and the loader, we are preventing things from being displayed when it's not their turn yet. Leon, I really like the pace. Let me know when I can ask my general best practice question for Wiz, though. I've prepared it, but it's slightly above the chair limit, the character limit of YouTube. Okay. Do you want to, Leon, do you want to send it in a bunch of messages? You can do that. Just split it in a bunch of different messages and I'll just go through them all together. Okay. Great. Okay. So now it's time for actually loading some stuff, right? We want to load the nodes that we have created. So, well, maybe we can start by just showing the user email. So let's do that. So this user email, I want to display some text in here, and I want to display the text of the user. So let's do get user data, and in here we've got a bunch of properties. We could display the email, the unique ID as well, but yeah, let's use the email like that. And if we did that right, there's no email. Hold on. Why is there no email? Get user data. There is email. Yes. User email. I need to return this. My bad. Like that. Okay, good. Now we're talking. And now I've broken the UI. Yay. I'm not a designer, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, here now we are displaying the user email like that. And now let's start by loading the nodes here. So let's do a request here in Firebase, and we can do get nodes. And this get nodes, Firebase, let's do get items list. And we're going to get some items from a Firestore collection. So first of all, we need to create that collection in Firestore. So let's go here to Firebase, my Firestore database in here, and let's start a collection. And this collection will just be notes like this, notes. Let's just create something very simple as an example. Let's create a document that has a title like this, and it has, I don't know, like my title. And then it also has what can we use? Let's use a title for now, like this, auto ID. Nice, save. Great, so now we've got our nodes collection, and I got here one item. Let's create another one, just for the sake of having multiple. So multiple here, title, another one, save. So now we know that the collection is called nodes. I see that you guys are asking a bunch of questions. Go into there in a second. So let's get these nodes. I'm gonna first of all set up the path, which is gonna be nodes like this. So this is my path that it's called nodes. Maybe it could just be this, but let's do / nodes. No limits in items, and I would like to filter this based on an owner, right? Because here, these nodes right now could be loaded by everyone, but I only want to load the nodes from the user, right? From my user. So let's go to authentication, and if we open this, you will see how the user, in this case me, has a specific user ID, like that. So we can limit the nodes that we're loading based on the user ID of the user that is signed in. So Firestore database, let's come here, but let's add another field, and let's call this user ID, for example. And in this case, it's going to be this value, which is the one that I just copied from the authentication table. Let's come in here. Let's do the same thing. Let's add a field here, user ID, here, like that. Okay. And today we're not doing this, but if you want this to be fully production ready, fully secure with Firebase, you want to go to rules and define some rules so only the users that are logged in and that their user ID is the same as the user ID field here can load those items. Okay, keep that in mind. Firebase, it's very cool, but you need to apply some rules to make it fully secure. Okay, maybe we can do a different live stream for that. So I'm gonna come back here to my request, get nodes, and I want to filter by user ID. It's equals to the returned get user data UID, which would be the unique ID. Okay, like that. So if we perform this, let's do this, you will see how we are getting both items. Let's open this in the data store so you see it better. Get nodes, data, we are getting these two items. Look at this. Title, user ID, document ID, title, user ID, document ID, okay? If I am logged in a different user, then I wouldn't get these items in particular because we are filtering it based on user ID. Okay, so quick stop here. Let me check questions because I'm seeing a bunch of them. On to the good stuff. Also like the fast pace. Nice. Thank you. Maybe a grayed out nice label would fit for the RFV in the dialog window. What do you mean here? So you mean something that says requests, navigation? Oh, yeah, okay. I got you. Okay. Like more context, you mean, right, for these items? Yeah, it makes sense. We've gotten this feedback in the past. We can do that. Absolutely. Leon, we are relaunching a website and building a progressive web app on the / community path using Wized and Firebase. The current website must remain live on its own domain until the new version is ready. Or do we need to set up a third custom domain for development and then migrate the project to the original domain? And we want to have one Webflow project in the end, where / community is the path for the Webflow app. Okay, let me try to understand this. So you already have a website with a / community page, and in there you already have a Wized project that uses Firebase. Is that correct? And you're saying the current website must remain live on its own domain until the new version is ready. Okay. Or do we need to set up a third custom domain for development and then migrate the project to the original domain? And we want to have one Webflow project in the end. Leon, can you tell me if this already has a Wized project, or is it a website that does not have a Wized project? Are you updating the Wized project? Are you creating a new Wized project for that specific page? I'm going to wait until you answer, okay? For now, I'll keep going. And in about 5 minutes, I'll revisit this question. Okay, so here, as I said, we are already loading the nodes here, like that. So all we need to do now is render those nodes in here. So what I'm going to do is, boom, we've got this nodes item here, and we want to render a list of each of the item nodes that we have. So let's do this. I'm going to select this nodes item, and let's do a list where we need an index variable. And right now we don't have it, so let's create it. It's going to be called index with an initial value of 0, like that, save the index. And the list value is going to be the get nodes data, like that. So if I refresh this now, you will see how we are going to be loading, rendering 2 items. Oh, hold on. We need to perform the request of getting nodes. Let's do this super quick. Okay, you can see how when I manually perform the get nodes request, it's rendering this. But what's missing is that we must call the get nodes request. So let's create an event for that. Let's say that when the page loads, actually, no, let's do after the get user request finishes, because we only want to load the nodes after the get user request finishes, then we load the nodes. So let's do that. Let's do another event, and let's say get nodes. And let's do request finishes, get user finishes. Also, it's conditional because I only want to do this on the home page. Keep that in mind. So let's do this. N.path, it's equals to the home page, like this. And then the action is going to be perform a request, and the request will be get nodes, like that. So if I did it right, if I reload the page, yep, we are getting the nodes in here. Cool. Okay, Leon, you said, no, we have a website, and in the background, we developed the website with Webflow, and on top of the a web app in there. Right now, the website is still WordPress. Oh, okay. So we need to, we're launching using Wized and Firebase. The current website must remain live on its own domain until the new version is ready. So to me, it seems like you just need to be working on the Webflow .io staging domain, build everything in there, and once it's ready, you just do the switch in the DNS records. You publish in Webflow, you switch the DNS records, and that's it. That's how I am understanding this, unless there's some specific. You don't really need a reverse proxy if everything is going to be just a single Webflow project. Because in a Webflow project, you can have Wized that it only affects one page in particular. It's fine. You just add the script tag of Wized. So this script tag, you add it only to the page that you're going to be working with. So you just have one single Webflow project, and you are working in the Webflow.io domain. You build everything, and then the moment that you're ready for launch, publish that domain, go in the DNS record management, and just switch the DNS records from WordPress to Webflow, and then the switch is done. I don't think that you need a reverse proxy for that, Leon. I think that you're good. Let me know if you agree. Yeah, but in order to make it an installable a progressive WA, we need Cloudflare to put a manifest file in there. You're right. Yes. In that case, yes, you need a reverse proxy. Correct. So the detail of making it a PWA, yes, requires a reverse proxy, unfortunately. It would be awesome if it could be native in Webflow, but it is not now. So reverse proxy, start by reverse proxying only the webflow.io side, but then when you're ready to make the production launch, you reverse proxy a subdomain like webflow.example.com, and that's what you reverse proxy on as the content for the main domain. So then you point the main domain to the Cloudflare worker that it's the reverse proxy, and then the reverse proxy just serves the content correctly. Next Friday, I'm going to do an office hours, so maybe we can talk about this, Leon. It will be awesome to talk about this with the Finsweet Plus team. For now, I'm going to continue here because we only have 15 minutes and I want to do some more things. So let's do that. How are you doing, guys? Can you guys let me know if I'm going too fast or if you're okay? Can you just give me some thumbs up, some thumbs down here in the chat? Anything that lets me know that I'm doing a good job or a bad job and I should change anything. You can just drop them while continue. Okay, so we are now rendering these items, the notes item, but we want to display the title. So let's do that. Notes item, title. We want to set the text here, and the text is going to be return r.getNotes.data v.index. Remember that we are doing a render list, and the title like that. So if we did it right, yeah, we should see here my title and another title. Let's tackle the date later. I want to focus on finishing the editor first, and then if I have some time, we can tackle the date. Another thing that you're going to see is that here in Webflow, I've defined a specific class that it's called isActive. And this class should only be displayed on the, so should only be added to the elements when the elements are active, right? So let's select again the element. And actually, no, let's go to the data store and let's create another variable that it's called active node, for example. Yeah, active node. And the initial value, there's no initial value, okay? So what I want to do is that whenever I select any of these items, we're going to update this variable with the ID of the document that is active, right? So which means that in here, on the nodes item, we can say, hey, the CSS classes is active. This CSS class should be added to the element only when the v.activeNode it's equals to the ID of the element. So getNodes.data v.index doc.id in this case. Okay. So if we refresh this again, what you will see is that now nothing is active. But the moment that we select one of these items, we want to make it active. So again, let's select this, the nodes item. Let's go to events and let's say, hey, when clicking these elements, let's set a variable, and the variable will be active node. And this active node will be the ID of the element that we just clicked. So let's do return dot get nodes dot data v.index document ID like that. And now if we did it right, I'm seeing that the hot preloading is not working correctly in render list. We need to check that. If you check this, look at that, boom, boom, boom. Anytime that I select, we are getting an updated active node ID in here, which is setting the class correctly. Nice. Great. So now what we need to do is anytime that we select this element, we want to open the content of that element, right? So first of all, what I want to do is I want to set up Quill editor here. Remember that, well, actually, I haven't mentioned it. I want to use this integration. This is just a JavaScript package that allows you to set up a rich text editor on a website. Very simple. And if we go to the documentation, you will see how simple it is. Look at that, quick start. All we need to do is just include some style sheet from Quill. we also need to include a library from Quill, and then we can simply initialize this like this. So I've already done some homework, and in the homepage, I've added the style sheet and the script tag from Quill. So here in my website, what I want to do is when the page loads, when the page finishes loading, I want to initialize Quill.js to be displayed in here, specifically this element that is called Nodes Editor, right? So let's go to the events and let's do load Quill editor. And the trigger is going to be page finishes loading. And again, because I only want this to happen on the home page, I'm going to make this conditional, and I'm going to say return, sorry, no, not this, return and dot path, it's equals to the home page, to the index, like that. And the action is going to be run a function like this. And in the function, we want to initialize the editor like this. But we need to first get the reference to the element that's the editor. Remember that the element is this one, nodes editor. So here, let's get the editor element, editor, or let's just do, yeah, editor. And to get the reference of the element, usually I could just do document the query selector, blah, blah, blah. But I recommend that you use the Wized API, which can be done by doing Wized.elements.get. And in that case, we're going to get I think that it's called nodes editor, like this. So with this editor reference, now we can simply just copy this Quill thing, no Quill, boom. And instead of targeting this editor, I'm going to target the editor node like this. Actually, look at that. It's already working. Nice. Boom. Okay. So you can see how Quill it's loading the editor here on top of this. But because we will need to use the API from Quill, because we will need to programmatically populate this when we load nodes, I want to store this Quill instance in a variable. So let's go to my data store and let's create another variable that is called Quill. And no initial value, all good. But in the event, I want to store this inside v.quill. And I see that this is still missing, but it's fine. Let's format this super quick like that. And now if we did it right here in Quill, we should have stored the reference to the Quill editor, okay? Okay, great. Now, what should we do? What we want to do is when clicking on any of these elements, so essentially when activating those elements, when opening those elements, I want to put that data into the Quill editor, right? Which is this nodes editor element that you see here. And to populate some content, there's an API here in Quill that says get contents, get length, get text, insert embedded content into the editor. No, insert text, set contents, overrides editor with given contents. This is what we want. Yes, correct. And this should be or set text, sets contents of the editor with given text, returning a delta, update contents. Which one should we use actually? Insert text, inserts the text into the editor, set contents. Let's use the set text for now because I think that it will be the simpler one, which we just need to set the text as is, like this. So let's do that. So here in my notes, just for the sake of testing, I'm going to update this and I'm going to not create, but update. I want to add another field that it's called body, maybe. Yeah, let's call this body. And here, let's say hello from body. And in the other one, we can say again body. And let's do yeah, whatever. Okay. So now we've got the body in both. So what we can do is when clicking on these elements, so when clicking on the nodes item, for example, we not only we set the variable of the active node, but after that, we also can, for example, populate the content from for Quill, right, in here. So let's do it super quick. Ideally, you wouldn't do it like this because that's a too imperative approach. What we could do actually instead is do it as an event when the active content changes. Yeah, let's do that. It will be cleaner. So let's create an event here that says populate the Quill editor. And in here, this trigger will be a custom condition. And the custom condition will be that anytime that there is an active node or that the active node changes, we're going to get the contents from that active node and populate Quill with it. And to do that, I want to do a run function. Okay. So in this run function, first of all, we need to get the content, the body. And the body will be r.getNodes.data. And then we need to find the node that matches the ID of the active node. So find the node where the node ID, document ID, it's equals to the active node, like this. Okay, so essentially we're just looping through all the nodes and we're saying, okay, we've got an active ID and we've got a bunch of nodes. I need to find the one that matches this specific ID. And in that case, when we find this will be the body in this case. Right now it's not populating, but I need to reload to show that. Just in case, if there is no body, so meaning that we didn't find anything, let's return from here, okay? I don't want to continue running the function if we don't find any body in here. But if we do find a body, then I want to set the text in the Quill editor like this. So quill.setText to the body. So let's do v.quill dot set text, and the text will be the body, like this. And now I'm realizing that also in the custom condition, we should both check if there's an active node and also if there's the Quill editor in there. So b.quill, like this, because it could happen that the be active node it's set before Quill has been initialized. Don't know if that could happen, but just in case. So yay, look at that. So now when we toggle one of the nodes, we are populating the content of the Quill editor. Okay, let's go over this again because I think that this might be a bit more confusing. We are setting a custom condition as an event, and we're saying, hey, when Quill has been set up and when we have an active node, let's run this function. With this function, we check in the nodes which one is the active one. We get it, and we get the body from it. If we don't find an active node, we return from the function, like we stop doing stuff. But if we do find the body, we could do the other way around. We could say if body, set the text. Maybe this is a bit more easy to understand. If we find the body, we update the Quill editor with the API that it's this set text, like that. Nice. Okay, cool. So we're loading this. Now I'm realizing that this here. There is, we need to first be able to save or discard any changes. We need to create a new node. We need to be able to delete nodes, which I forgot the button here. We need to populate the title and the date of the newly created nodes. We need to, what else? We need to do a bunch of things. Yeah, we need to update the nodes as well. This section here should only be displayed if we change something, right? Because if I open the node and I don't change anything, it doesn't make sense to display this section. So it would be nice as well to have this, etc. Oh, I've disconnected my cable. Sorry, guys. We could say draft. Yes. Hold on, let me check my mic because I think that I messed up. Is it fine now? Yeah, we're back. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's this cable. It's very flimsy. Okay. What should I do, guys? Do you want me to keep pushing for 15, 20, 30 minutes and try to finish this? Do you want to stop here because you're good? Do you want me to set up the next Friday part 2 for this, so we get a full live stream just to finish these last touches forever? How do you guys feel? Because I can keep pushing for, let's say, 20 minutes. Next week is fine by me, honestly. Okay. Okay, let's push it back to the next week. You know what? Because I was thinking that next week we could do the last office hours of the year, because we're ending November. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep pushing. Guys, I'm gonna keep pushing for about 20 minutes. Okay, I'll go a bit faster just to try to finalize all of this, and then next Friday, for those who you want to stop watching the live stream today, next Friday it's gonna be the last session of the year, because starting last week of November, I'm not gonna be available that day, and then in December we've got people on holidays, etc. So we're probably gonna see each other already on January next year. Okay. Um, so today I'm gonna keep pushing this. I'm gonna finish this, and then next Friday we're gonna do the last office hour session with the Finsweet Plus users. Yeah, there's always the recording, of course. When are we getting an instance or Twitch channel, Alex? We want some more frequent stuff with low code and no code, also reward and code too. You know what? I've been thinking on doing this just now in December. So we're not going to be doing live streams here, but I'm going to be working full time on attributes to launch attributes v2. Yay, finally. And I was thinking that maybe it would be cool to just live stream that, like not on the Finsweet channel, because it's going to be not the quality that you would expect from the Finsweet channel. Just probably going to be just me on YouTube or Twitch or something, just doing like real work. Just you can come and join my day-to-day coding sessions with me. I don't know. I'll put something on Twitter. Let's finish this. Okay, so first of all, here I want to be able to update the nodes, right? So let's do that. Let's create first of all a request, and that request will be, let me move this aside. That request will be called update node, and it's gonna be Firebase, and we're gonna update an item, and the item will be return /nodes /v dot active node, like this. Okay, so the active node is the ID, and the way that in Firebase you define things is like this. It's a path /nodes / the document ID, which is what we're doing here. And then the fields that we want to update, it's just the body, like that. Okay, the body will be regular data, and the field value, we need to get it from Quill, which it's get contents, I think. No, let's get the text. Yeah, get text. Okay, like this. So if we do this, we're going to do return v.quell.get text, and probably returns the whole thing. Yeah, hello from body. Look at that. Cool. Great. So now that we have this, what we want to do is that when we click on save, we want to perform the update node, right? So let's do that. X-ray, save here, on click, perform a request, and this request will be to update the node. But I want to make this conditional because I only want to do this if there is an active node present. Imagine that somehow this save button slipped in and it's visible while there's not an active node, then we'll have a problem. So I want to make, let's do the whole event conditional, and I want to make it only if there is an active node, like this. If there's no active node, then this is not going to run. So if we did it right, then I should be able to change this and I could be able to click on save. And now in Firebase, we should see the oh, why not? Body title, doc ID. What a pity. We're not. Why not? Ah, come on. It's not being saved. Are we running the update node? Let's check this. Update node. We are, yes. Successfully. Okay, let's check again. Update node. Fill key, body in here with the text of this. What happens in here if I evaluate this? Oh, this is not being updated. Hold on. Quill, why are you doing this? I want to get the updated text. Delete text, get contents, get length, get text, retrieve the string of contents of the editor. Non-string content are omitted, so the return string's length may be shorter than the editor. Note even when Quill is empty. But why? Why are you not doing this? What if I do get contents? Nah. Get text, get length, get contents, retrieves the contents. There's nothing here. Huh. Come on. Okay, and the get text. It's empty. And if I select this, it's this. And if I type something, no! Why is not being updated? I don't like this. Get text, insert embed, insert text, set contents, update contents. Do I need to manually set it anytime that there's a change? I shouldn't need to do that, right? Get format, remove format, events, text change. Emitted when the contents of Quill have changed. Yes. But I don't want to do that. Editor change on, once. Maybe on change input. There's no input here. This is fully managed by Quill. I know for sure. The weird thing is that, so, because if I have here my Quill instance, right? And if I type staff, I would expect that Quill returns the updated text here. Oh, hold on. Something changed here. What? Oh, okay. So, weird. Somehow, this must be an issue with Quill, honestly. Like, I don't know. Oh, check this out. This is actually a bit buggy. Normal, heading. What? Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. This has been something unexpected. Okay, so it looks like somehow now it's being preserved. Okay, so if I save this now, and if we go here, oh yeah, now it was updated. Okay. But it wasn't, huh. get nodes. And if I get the nodes again, okay, because I want to get the nodes. I want this to be real time. Let's describe this to real time, like that. Yeah, because then if I change anything, it should keep being updated. And here should be updated. Yes. Yes, cool. Okay, cool. So now we can save. Hey, I'm saving stuff, save, and we can come back, boom, and it's being saved here. Hey, I'm saving stuff, look at that. And because we're doing in real time, I could even update things here in Firebase, and this is being updated in here. Look at that, nice. Cool. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to only display these buttons when there is a selected item, because if there's not a selected item, then it doesn't make sense to display these buttons, right? And also, I want to be able to discard the changes. And I'm thinking that the way that we would do that is by comparing between the data that is in the get notes request and the data that it's in Quill. So what we can do is we can create another variable and we can call this Quill changes. Let's call this Quill changes. And what I want to do is, first of all, when we have the active node, so when we populate the Quill editor, not only I'm going to set the text in here, I'm also going to set v.quill changes equals to the body, right? So now we've got the content in two different places. We've got we've got the Quill changes, which is the body, and also as well we have a Quill with the body in it. But what I want to do is that whenever we type in Quill, so whenever there is a text change in this case, I want to update the Quill changes variable, because then we can compare between the current data that it's in Firebase and the data that has been changed in the editor to see if there's any changes or not. Because then if there's no changes, it doesn't make sense to show this section. But if there are changes, it makes sense to show this section. So let's do that. I want to do this. So I'm going to just copy and paste. And let's go to the load Quill editor. And in here, I want to Quill, Quill on text change. How do I get the content? Let's console log. Console log delta and old delta and source. This is happening because I'm editing the event and it's loading again. Okay, so if I do this and I console log stuff here, okay, let's console log when I'm typing. Nothing is changing. Come on. No text change, selection change, editor change. Once of model, fine, get index. That might be editor change. Let's try the editor change. Sorry, guys. Again, things of the life. Instead of text change, let's try editor change. And let's refresh this. And let's try to console log this. And nothing is happening. Why? Come on. I'm seeing a call stack here. This might be the issue. Let's pause this for a second. 1 second, guys. Trying to figure out what's happening here. But hopefully you've gotten the idea that when I type here, Oh, okay. So this is working fine. I know what is happening. Okay. So what's happening is that Quill editor, it's probably freaking out here because I'm storing the variable here in v.quill, and because the embed and the configurator, it's communicating and it's sending it data back and forth. Probably something is breaking here. I'm gonna check that out after the live stream. But okay, let's quick doing this for a second, and you will understand this, and then we can publish and check it live. So when the editor changes, actually we can do on the text change. Yeah, let's do on text change. On text change, like that, let's publish. Super quick. Publish just now. Yeah. Yeah, on text change, you can see how we got here some delta and some old data. And the new data contains stuff and the old data contains another stuff, but we don't need to compare. All we need to do is say, hey, whenever there's a text change, just update the Quill changes with v.quill get text, like that. So the idea would be, oh my God, Quill here is breaking everything. The idea would be that then the variable, it's being populated enough. So here, when we decide if these nodes should be displayed or not, we can say, hey, only display this if return r dot, no, v dot active node and v dot quill changes is not equals to r dot get nodes dot data dot find the node where the node ID it's equals to the v dot active node. Ooh, this might be a bit confusing. Hold on. Let's extract this in a variable. So let's say the node active node body, it's equals to this. And then we are performing this check in here. So we're saying, hey, if there's an active node and the changes that are in Quill are different from the I wrote this incorrectly, active node body, like this, then display this section. So we did it right, and I'm gonna just publish again because it seems like this is freaking out in the configurator. Stay with me. Now we should see how, first of all, we don't have anything, but if I start typing, look at that. Now we get the changes. So let me do it again. I'll zoom in. So first we've got this thing, but if we don't change anything, we don't see the buttons, right? But the moment that I start typing, yay, now we get the buttons, which makes sense. Cool, okay. And the last thing would be to implement the discard button. Now I can't, I need to type. I want to discard things whenever, so if I click, I want to discard the changes. So on clicking on the discard button, I'm going to run a function. No, actually, we can set a variable. It will be simpler. Set a variable of Quill changes, and the Quill changes will simply just be the active node body. So I'm realizing that we could simplify thing is if we create another variable, and this variable is just active node body, because then we don't need to be doing everything every single time. So we can do r.getNodes.data.find.node, where the node doc ID is equals to v.active node and body, like this. I'm using chain the optional chain here, optional chaining, because it could be potential undefined. And I'm going to do this computed like this, because this means that now I don't have to be checking every single time for the body. Look at that. Does it make sense? So now I can update this. Let's go back to here. I don't have to be doing this every single time. I don't need to be using this. I can simply do v.activeNode._body like this. And here, same thing, like that. And I think that in here, now here we're okay. Here we're okay. Here we're okay. Great. Okay, so now what I was doing, yeah, discarding. So now when I discard the button, discard, now on click, I want to simply do v.quill changes. It must be, again, the active node body, which is the data that it's right now in Firebase. It's not the changes that we've been doing in Quill. I feel like at this point I'm just confusing you guys, but hopefully this will make sense. So now if I do things here, I've got the changes, but I discard this and nothing changed. Why? Yes, because I need to update the text. Hold on. Yeah, the active body is the Quill changes. So instead of doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a function because I want to update two things at the same time. I want to v.activeNodeBody will be the, sorry, v.quill changes. Quill changes will be the v.activeNodeBody. And also v.quill set text v.activeNodeBody. Or maybe just setting the text actually, because it will probably already trigger. Yeah, if we just set the text with the API, we'll probably trigger the event of set text, which will already update things. Let's try this. Ta-da-da. Kind of. Whoa, no, something is wrong here. Something is definitely wrong. It's setting the text to, how do I do that? Via Quill, set text, active node body. Yeah, that should work. But let me check again the event. When we're right, because v.active node body, when we are changing this. No, we're good with that. And in here on text change, v.quill changes equals to the get the text. Okay, so probably it's getting the text before it's getting the text. There's some kind of collision here between the moment that we discard the changes, and the moment that the get text is picked in there. v.quill.set text v.active node body. Can I do simply remove? So like no text at all? Could that work? Now's the moment that I go into the rabbit hole of refactoring this, guys. So hopefully this will be quick. Okay, discard. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Done. Nice. Okay, so now we can both save things and discard changes. Let's save this. Let's check it out in here. Yay! Because the reason why things are behaving a bit weird is because I'm using the API for just text instead of contents. When using the API of just text in Quill, everything that it's line jumps, formatting like bold, italics, and stuff like that, it gets rid of it. I think. Yeah. Yeah. But okay, well, we will need to do some extra work in here. But I think that now it's the time to just stop this rabbit hole, because I think that we will still need at least half more an hour to finish this. But I'm happy with this result, honestly. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's sign out. Let's try things. Let's sign in. Let's come here. Alex Iglesias at Finsweet.com. Sign in. Yeah, I'm getting my notes. I can load my notes. I can edit these notes. something new. I can save this. I can reload the page and it will be saved in here. Nice. And I can try to do something else and I can discard my changes and it goes back to what it was. Pretty happy. It's not a final production product, but I'm pretty happy with this result. Okay, so we are going to, now that this is published, I'm going to just simply share the preview link for anybody who wants to just peek around in here, and we're gonna put this in the live stream notes. So in case that you wanna just be doing some reverse engineering and try to figure out how it's working, or you wanna just go over the whole live stream again, up to you. And I'll stop talking, guys. It's a time to say goodbye. Next Friday, office hours with Finsweet Plus. Okay, so it's not gonna happen here on YouTube. It's gonna be a private Zoom session. If you have any questions about the project, career development, life in general, I don't know, just come by and we can have some fun together. Okay. Well, guys, thank you. The 15 people that still are here listening to me, I appreciate it. Really. Enjoy the weekend. You as well, Sylvan. Thank you, guys. Goodbye, all.